Hello and welcome to Division F podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Division F podcast.
Hello and welcome to Division F's podcast.
Hello and welcome to Division F's podcast.
Hello and welcome to Division F's podcast.
Hello and welcome to Division F podcast. Do you need a real source of inspiration? Is it possible for you to read multiple genre of books in a single day itself? Do you want to know how to become a person who can inspire many with a small smile, with the right content and delivery when you're addressing a group of people? If yes, then this is for you.
Hello and hearty welcome to one and all. You are listening to Division F's podcast, and I am your host for the day, Toastmaster Karthik. Do you need a source of true inspiration? Do you aspire to become a great leader? Then you are at the right place. Today, we are going to listen to a very successful personality, a sincere and dedicated Toastmaster who has taken and excelled in several leadership roles in Toastmasters. And not just that, a highly educated woman working as a senior manager at HCL Technologies Private Limited. And to say about her achievements, she is a 9-time ISCTT evaluation contest winner at club level, 2 times evaluation contest winner at area level, and her achievements counts going on and on. Let's put our hands together and hearts together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Vidhya Boopalan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karthik. It's my privilege to be part of Division F podcast.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vidhya Boopalan, and I believe our listeners are even more excited to know about you. So let's quickly start with our interview. That brings us to our first question. Now we know you as our division director, but we want to know how your journey was. Could you please take us through your journey from the beginner Toastmaster to a division director?
Thank you so much for that question, Karthik. So, my journey towards Toastmasters started during a lunch hour when I was speaking with one of my close friends who had listened to Toastmasters promo in the corporate, and she was calling me whether I'll be able to be part of this particular initiative that's been rolled out in our organization. I wouldn't say I'm very new to Toastmasters. I'm hearing it for first time. I've heard about it because I've heard it through my husband and through his friends who had been already part of this initiative. And so I thought, why not I try it personally so that I can gain some personal experiences out of such a wonderful fraternity. And that's how everything started. At that point in time, I was working as a manager, and I wanted to see how this can help me build some strong leadership qualities so that I can get into the executive leadership positions at the office. So all that I did at that point in time was to stick inside the club and see what was happening. Way back, I think it was in 2014, I joined Toastmasters, and from then, the first 3 years, it was totally inside the club bubble. I was delivering my speeches, playing my roles, taking up leadership roles in the club level. I was really satisfied with what I was going through in Toastmasters until one day when I felt like there was something which has to be criticized about the happening at Toastmaster. One of my mentor came and asked, Vidhya, see, the way we see the happening in Toastmasters is all about our perspective of what we are seeing as an audience. But when you actually step in and have that from the end user's perspective, the experience is totally different. Until you have that end user's perspective, you cannot be criticizing on why are certain things being happening this way and why things are being planned out. I think that question provoked a lot of thought process inside me, and from then on, I thought I should test the waters. I should see how is it in large scale? How is it in large scale about persuading people? How is it in large scale about adding value to the organization where we belong to? And what it takes actually to change if we have to bring in a change management in an organization. I think my journey towards Toastmaster outside the club started only when I had this question lingering in my mind. how do I be an agent in an organization, and how do I become that small part of solution to get things upright, was something which I thought could take me to a different role in a Toastmasters journey. From then, the role did not allow me to stay. It has been going on and on and on. I took a district Toastmaster role, and followed by that, I had played area director and ovation contest chair, this division director role, where I had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with the budding leaders and understanding their perspectives and their priorities. So this is a quite exciting journey, and I have a handful of learning, and it definitely helped me fix few of my core skills and strengthen it so that I'll be able to challenge the problem better today. So that is all about it, Toastmaster Karthik.
Thank you so much, DTM Vidya. That was so fascinating and could hear from you so much in the starting itself. I think our listeners are even more excited to listen to you. And that brings us to the next question. What was your inspiration to take up this role? And after taking it, what were the challenges you faced in this role as a division director?
The inspiration towards Toastmaster is I wanted to step in and see how it is to play a role in a larger scale, and how I can be a change element in an organization where we have to bring some certain changes which we feel could add to the betterment of the society where we live in. So when I had this thought process, a lot of brainstorming happened between myself and my mentors, and throughout those discussions is what I slowly got dragged into this particular role. And after I have rolled out into this role, there were certain gaps that I even identified within my core skill set. For instance, I was thinking I was a very clear communicator, and I was a very upfront instructor when it comes to extracting work from a person who is maybe reporting to me or who is collaborating with me. But then this Toastmaster gave me another perspective of how do we indulge with the emotion part of a person whom we are speaking with. That was the greatest learning, I would say. Like any leader, if we understand the emotional portion of discussion, we will be easily able to win the discussion and take things in favor of our common goal that we are driving. So that is something which is really, really a huge lesson for me. Now, this is one of the greatest takeaway I would say from this role that I have taken. And number two was certain changes that I had gone through in myself is about how do we challenge problems. Honestly speaking, this was not an easy journey for me. I'm a mother and I'm a working professional who's into a core technology area, and I'm someone who also have other additional responsibilities like daughter and daughter-in-law. To me, playing an additional role in Toastmaster was definitely not an easy decision to make. But I made this decision, and I learned how to challenge problems and how do we prioritize things. And through this challenge, how do we try and learn to accommodate all the elements of life. For example, before Toastmasters, if someone came and asked me to take some activity at the nth minute, I would always try to keep a very strong no as in reply to their answers. But now Toastmasters given me that flexibility to go ahead and try it on my feet. I think that is something which I, as a woman leader, is something which I'm getting used to it. And because my threshold is increased now, I'm able to easily take up challenges and start working on finding solution rather than thinking about what could become as a blocker at some point in time. Yes, blockers, it happens to anybody and everybody, but how do we go ahead and handle problems as and when they occur rather than trying and dreaming about it ahead of actually the occurrence. So I stopped thinking about the permutations and combinations before it occurs, and I started handling it on the field. And I think kept something which Toastmaster has given me. This is number second learning that I would say I got it from Toastmasters. Number third is regarding the listening skills. Of course, Toastmasters something which teaches this right from day one through the varied club roles that we're playing, starting from accountant to grammarian to general evaluator or speech evaluator. Listening is something key for Toastmasters, and I have definitely become a better listener now. And I try and collect very nuanced updates from my team members when I speak with them. So the inputs that I was collecting when I was a Toastmaster 3 years before and what I'm collecting today are totally different. I try to give a 360-degree angle of thought process when I'm speaking with them, and I keep things open. And because of this kind of open conversation that I try and develop with them, I'm able to really solve problems in a much easier way. And this is something which is actually improving the group collaboration and helps me in a long run to achieve the common goal. So these are the takeaways that I have learned through this Toastmasters conversation, and definitely all these core skills are going to take me to a long way, something which I'm right away seeing. That is what I would say Toastmaster Karthik.
Thank you, Vidya. As we are moving on, it's taking this interview to the next level, I would say, because we could see so many dynamic qualities that you have developed through the years. And I'm sensing this taste of courage after listening to you. And I think that will be the same with our listeners. And that moves us to the next question. After all these challenges you overcome and backing up so many achievements that you are done in this Toastmasters life, what was your learning and key takeaway from these roles that no other role has given you?
I would definitely say Toastmaster is an unparalleled opportunity. The reason why I'm saying this is, as I was speaking, right from the team spirit, how do we build that team spirit? How do we clearly communicate? How do we attain unlimited personal growth? So these are something which I am seeing as a inherent qualities that someone is going through in a Toastmasters leadership journey. Uh, the most wonderful thing out of all of this is about the increased self-awareness. As a person, you travel inside. As a person, you discover yourself. As I was saying, like there were few gaps in my core skills which I was able to uncover, and I was able to improve my leadership skills because I uncovered those gaps that are there in my core skills. So this increased self-awareness is what I would say keeps me always tied up with Toastmasters. And I would say the relationship building that had happened in Toastmasters is going to stay for my lifetime, is what I am seeing right now. And it's just not a journey that is something which, like a rapid expo, starts on one day and finishes on another day. This is going to be an ongoing concern, and the ongoing concern is going to definitely give me a lot of unlimited personal growth, as well as I will be able to return as a favor to this fraternity, lot of service whichever and whenever it is possible, be it a role where I'm actively playing a role with a title or without a title. My association with Toastmasters is going to grow because of the benefits that I've got in Toastmasters in the past.
That's a wow response from you, Toastmaster Vidya. We could see that there are so many things that is being observed from your interview. That is increased self-awareness. It's such a good quality that we can relate with, and it's amazing, really insightful. Let's move to the next one, which is, how do you think Toastmasters can bring a change in someone's life, like normal people, if they step into Toastmaster? And do you think that really transforms people, has transformed you?
So if I have to say, the benefits in Toastmasters are unlimited, as I was saying. To a person, it can bring in an unlimited personal growth. There's no doubt about it. If you go on here to a typical benefits of Toastmaster, they'll be saying you as you get an ease to speak in front of a group, you get to know about time management, your confidence and your pause increases, and you think quickly. These are something which we regularly hear from Toastmasters. But what I feel is the crux of Toastmaster is the concept of society. When I say society, we are working in fraternity here. As in, when we grow up with this organization, we get to know we cannot be an individual to perform in society. and we at some point in time start collaborating in a very positive atmosphere, that the atmosphere becomes supportive for you to return or to do achieve your set goals. So this is one of the biggest lesson that someone would learn in Toastmasters if they are pursuing leadership. So, if with respect to personal growth that I was saying, yes, of course, we speak Toastmasters at communication level, we speak Toastmasters at confidence level. That's a different initial stages of being associated with Toastmaster, I would rather say. But the biggest advantage comes in when you actually elevate yourself as leader and you stand, you see that you have all the required capabilities to perform and you are performing, but still you need that particular charisma to build in and pull the team together and get them perform the common goal as in how it has been set by the leadership team. So this particular supportive environment or this positive atmosphere, how do we perform this magic as a leader to get that platform set for you to achieve something great in a long run is something which anybody can learn in Toastmaster if they are really keen about learning leadership here at Toastmasters. So that is what I would say the biggest benefit of being in Toastmasters, Toastmaster Karthik.
And again, you are proving, as we go on with the interview, we could get so many insights from you, Vidya, and thank you for that. And all the questions prove that you have been a very good Toastmaster and you have been excelling in so many qualities. But apart from this, apart from Toastmasters life, where do your passions and bigger interests lie? What are your interests apart from Toastmasters?
I would rather say it's my family, because my family has been my topmost focus. And though I'm playing the role of a successful woman who's balancing my career as well as my Toastmasters journey parallelly to learn, relearn, and unlearn through the associations that I'm having, the one part which I've never compromised is about my family. So I always say this to people around me, that's the first crux of anybody's life. And if you have to put one of the other priorities, for example the career or the rest of the journey, even for that sake I would say even Toastmasters, take a small break and focus and get that fixed, because when that environment is not stable, you will definitely not be able to give the fullest in rest of the areas. I feel to be very successful in a career, you have to be a successful person in your personal life. You have to feel better, and there should be a supporting family members who just stand by you when you fail. I not have to say this, everybody would have personally gone through this. When the whole world is against us, it's only our family members who take us on their shoulders and say, yes, this would go away and this would change for you, go ahead and pursue something which you are looking for, because we have seen your aspirations from a closer friend, is what something which we hear from our family members. Definitely, our friends and our well-wishers are there to give us this kind of moral support, but the level of support that comes from the family members is totally different, which we cannot equate it at some point in time to what we get from outside particularly. So I would say whenever I get time, I try and focus back on my family. That's my top priority, and I keep my interest always around this place. So these are the things that I try and spend apart from my Toastmasters role.
It was so touching and it was connecting to the heart, I would say, of Toastmaster Vidya. This was really expresses the work-life balance, how you manage things, being a life partner, a mother, a manager, a Toastmaster, and whatnot. And the list goes on, but you expressed in a way that we could connect with you with your stories. And thank you so much for being so expressive to us and enthusiastically answering all our questions. I'm so glad and overwhelmed that I have interviewed such an eminent personality and a successful women Toastmaster. I take this opportunity to thank the entire podcast team of Division F for granting me this opportunity. As we have reached the last part, I would also like to thank our DTM Vidhya Boopalan for sharing her thoughts and message. So thank you all. So see you until next time. This is Toastmaster Karthik signing you off.